Hey, bro, don't forget, it ain't the first 48, bro. It's 60 minutes, bro.
We heard a whole lot of lip service, but hey, anybody can do that. But between them lines,
come with the kid, you best not miss. Even the score now, we need to score now. Back on that wall, when you hear that call, you know it's going down. We play from beginning to ending, you know how we finish. Turn to the bank, gotta handle our business. We need the ball, so it's time to go get it. Play with your heart when you hit, make like, who you with? You know I'm with. You come to the bank and get out of line, we sending a blitz. Say who you with? You know I'm with. That purple and black, and when we attack, you know what it is.
You're now locked in Zone 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Zone 32 podcast. It's a special one this week. It's episode 98. Before we get to the main event, we'll do the appetizer. Shout out to Travis Jones, rocking 98 now. Shout out to Grant's favorite defensive lineman, nose tackle, big baby, Brandon Williams. We know who 98 is. In Baltimore, that 98 was Tony Siragusa, the Goose. And shout out to him. Shout out to his aviation group, gooseflights.com. I don't know the drink specifically I went on there, but hey, it's an aviation group.
I think it's Titan Aviation Group, I believe, is the backer.
Yes, Titan Aviation Group.
Goose Flights is the beer. We have the kid who doesn't drink doing a beer ad read, which is a great move on our end. But yeah, Goose Flights is the beer, and Titan Aviation is his aviation group. So they help sick kids.
Shout out to the Titan Aviation Group for providing emergency medical transportation accommodations for people with bone cancer and things that are worse. So shout out to bone cancer because that shit sucks. But hey, here we go. Episode 98, Zone 32 podcast. We got a full crew tonight. My name is Jake. His name is Drew. His name is Will. His name is Trippy. His name is motherfucking Grant. Say what's up to the people.
Fuck y'all.
No. Yeah.
I mean, only reason why I'm saying fuck y'all, blame John Harbaugh, because I'm still upset, because we supposed to be celebrating right now.
You're fucking right, we should be.
Hey, congrats to avid listener Vision with State.
You gotta watch a fucking quarterback that sound like fucking Kermit the Frog talk about how he won his third fucking Super Bowl. I'm just pissed off, man. Shit crazy.
The only person I'm happy for, only person I'm happy for is Taylor Swift,
MVP.
my girl Taylor Swift.
VD.
No.
The only person I'm happy for is VD. Taylor Swift, the only thing that's enjoyable about that woman is that meat cannon cartoon where she turns into some kind of eldritch creature.
Man,
otherwise,
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, there's nothing enjoyable.
Literally,
Taylor
though.
Swift.
Shut up.
Otherwise,
though.
I mean,
she's a good, Super Bowl. She did.
I mean, we called it though. Like, we said whoever was going to win the AFC was going to win it all.
I mean that was, and Chris Jones even said after the game they beat the best team with the Ravens. So like, he's right. Yeah. Shout out to pending free agent Chris Jones. Has an existing affinity for crab cakes. So
and for all y'all motherfuckers talking about we need Chris Jones, how the fuck we gonna sign Chris Jones and Matt BK?
Hold on. Trippy. It's not our money. It's not our money. So all we have to do is tell Steve to spend his money and figure it out. They pay easy to figure out the cap, and Steve's got all the money, so they can.
Ooh, don't you on the line though? Oh my god, that shit would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a cheat code.
Well,
we just make the suggestions. We don't actually have to do any of the work behind making those suggestions a reality. So that's the great part about a fan. You can say dumb shit like, "Oh, EDC's in a rock and a hard place because he's got a big cap hit for Lamar," but the reality is none of us know shit. So we're just gonna say what we want to happen, and then go from there.
And they get mad when it doesn't happen. So, fuck it. It's all good. But anyway, so there was no real Ravens news. It just transpired. But the Super Bowl did just happen. And the Kansas City Chiefs have won their third Super Bowl in 5 years. Myself, Drew, and Lil Key all called that correctly. Never bet on Kyle Shanahan. The man gets cute.
I was choking. Sorry, I was choking on our Kyle Shanahan.
That too. He is a notorious choke artist. So, I mean, that is what it is. Will, that was silly of you. I understand. The Niners are a good team and everything, but
see, the problem is Will's logic was correct. Is that if they kept running the ball with McCaffrey, like they could have won that game. But you put the ball in Brock Purdy's hands too much, and you don't win the game because you have
McCaffrey touched the ball 30 times, and he had 160 yards and a touchdown. And if they had just kept putting the ball in his hands, he would have continued to put up yards and score touchdowns. It's just it defies logic that you don't keep giving him the ball.
Also,
early
fuck
on,
George Kittle.
Yeah. Fuck Kittle.
Fuck George Kittle.
Anyone who keep these people who keep continuing saying that George Kittle is a better player than Mark Andrews, and honestly, at this point, if you say George Kittle is better than Isaiah Likely, you are lying. He is not.
Is Charlie Kohler? Is Charlie Kohler better than George Kittle? That's the real question.
I mean,
I think so.
I'm sure George Kittle drives a nicer car than Charlie Kohler.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you.
That's
right?
about it.
George Kittle is not a bad tight end, but he give me more of a Nick Bull type tight end.
He was
blocks his ass off.
That's all he do is just block his ass off. Like at this point, like can the Ravens sign him and he can play left tackle? Or can he play guard?
Yeah, I mean, he flashes, but he's great in the run game. He's great as a blocker. And, I mean, you can point your finger to a lot of things in that game. And, I think one of the key moments was that muff punt. And it wasn't even a muff punt. Like, and as a, in the punt return team, like, you got to know, man. You got to know where you're at on the field. You got to know where your returner is. And you got to listen to your returner. You're telling him to get away. But it's just like Chiefs have shit like that just goes their way game after game after game. And it's like, they made a deal with the devil or something.
Well, and then you had that whole thing that came out afterwards that they weren't prepared for the overtime rules. And then you had Shanahan say that, he basically wanted to get the ball third, which is fine, but you have to put up 7 the first time.
Right.
Like if you're taking the ball first against Patrick Mahomes, you have to put up 7. You can't settle for 3.
How do you force him to kick 3?
And if you're thinking
one or the
you
other.
want the ball third, you have to put up 7 too.
Right.
You cannot take the ball first against the Chiefs and not put up 7. Because if your entire goal is to put up 7, have them answer with 7, and then you win on a field goal, that's fine. That's probably the, like you can plan to score 7 and then hold them, but, you have that fallback option. You cannot settle for 3. You cannot get into the red zone and then sputter out. And this is what Kyle Shanahan does all of the time in all of his big games, is that he holds a double-digit lead at some point, and then he shits down his leg, and they lose. And it's just like, it's the same shit over and over again with him. And again, like Will said, McCaffrey touched the ball 30 times, had 160 yards. Like, just keep giving him the fucking ball. They had no answer for Christian McCaffrey.
And I do want to give credit to Spags too, man. He called a pretty good game, and he did great dialing up his blitzes and the way that he sent the 5- and 6-man pressures in different situations. And when he needed to at the end of the game, at the end of their drive in overtime when they got the field goal. And he wasn't afraid, and he was in the red zone sending 6-man pressures, and that takes kahunas, man. And that's kudos to him, man. He called a good game at the end.
Spags is like he is smart enough to know that Kyle Shanahan or that Harbaugh was going to do something stupid and to take advantage of it.
Call him
Like
Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan. There we go. I was like, what the fuck are you trying to say?
My bad. I couldn't get it out.
Man, that was, man. Hey, name a more epic battle. Should be saying Shanahan or
no, he's saying Shanna can't because he can't win the big one. It took a little bit to get there, but I caught on to what he was trying to say. But in all seriousness, like it's every time, like Steve Spagnuolo seems to have that defense in the right situation for when he's going to, the defense or the offense is going to shit down their leg, and he just always seems to have the right play called. Like, I don't know if he's got like a sixth sense for that or whatever, but it always seems to happen. And so, yeah, I mean, credit to him, but it's just every year it's the same thing with Shanahan, and every year the Chiefs seem to be the ones who benefit from it when they're in a Super Bowl. It's fucking annoying.
And he probably wasn't expecting us to completely abandon the run either.
I think at some point he had to be like, they're going to abandon the run. I mean, I saw a stat like they had less than 5 guys in the box for, I don't know, it was like 40 snaps, and we still threw the ball 37 times against that front. So like at some point he had to be sitting on the sideline fucking laughing at us, being like, look at these fucking morons. And I'm sure he was doing the same thing to Shanahan, like, look at this fucking idiot playing right into my hands. It's absurd to me. I mean,
if I wasn't a Ravens fan, I would have been laughing.
Yeah,
I think that punt, that muff punt really fucked them up for real. Like,
yeah, that was the momentum.
Like, if you look at it, like, I thought the dude like touched the ball, but to be honest with you, it hit the foot. The dude, like, the player foot, and I'm like, damn, like that's just like
ball bounced the right way. The Chiefs took advantage.
Yeah, you feel me? Like,
that's the same shit that used to happen with the Patriots back in their dynasty runs. Is that like there would be that one break every game where the ball just bounced their way for whatever fucking reason, and they would always make it hurt.
Yeah. Just like how when Zay Flowers fumbled, I feel like that was their point. You know what I mean? Like
that was the nail in our
big,
coffin.
Yep, the nail in the coffin. And I felt like that muff punt was the nail in the coffin because all they had to do was score. That's all they had to do was score. And then they scored, and then boom, shit started
at a
going
lot
the
of
other
that
drain.
stuff, and that stuff doesn't really happen to a lot of teams. Like the breaks that they get, maybe here and there, but man, the consistency of them is just.
So I wonder if it's that those breaks happen and other teams just don't take advantage of it. Like if that muff punt didn't turn out in points, I don't think we'd remember it. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you remember it more because the Chiefs are the team that, has that ball bounce their way and then actually does something with it. I don't know how much of it is that and how much of it is that they have a horseshoe up their ass. I really couldn't tell you what the splits were on that.
I think they got a horseshoe up their ass.
But look, we got because I've been hearing people ask this question, like they said, like especially like Raven fans, they keep saying, "Yo, we need an offensive minded coach," but it seems like the offensive minded coach be doing a lot of dumb shit lately. If you ask me,
the reality is that we need a coach who's not gonna fucking shit down his leg in the big moment. Like that's what we're lacking. I don't care if he's an offensive coach, defensive coach, special teams coach, sideline cheerleader. Just when the moment gets that big, don't fuck it up. Don't do something fucking stupid.
Man,
that seems to be what we're lacking.
And I mean, and I still refuse to believe that that Monk can change his game plan that much. I still think Harbaugh had some more to do with that than anything. And
of course he did. We know he did because everything go through him first.
That was I couldn't tell you what day of the week that was talked about of. The Chiefs just got gashed by the Bills on the ground, and they know we're a better ground team, and they're going to stack the box against us, so we should throw the ball all over them. And, they found Zay on that first drive wide open, and they're like, yep, this is exactly how it's going to work. And then it stopped working, and there was no adjustment.
Well, also, let's be clear, that Zay touchdown was on play action.
Yeah, it was on the threat of a run. And so you had them bite on it.
And they barely ran play action all game. So...
it was just again, the Chiefs seem to be the team that, and we said it before that game, like don't give them windows, don't give them an opportunity, and we gave them plenty of fucking opportunities.
Yeah,
49ers gave them plenty of fucking opportunities.
Got to give Andy Reid
credit.
And
they gave us plenty of opportunities too, and we lost.
One of the things you got to give Andy Reid credit for is they don't change who they are. No matter what the circumstance, no matter where they are at in standings, no matter where they're at within a game, they don't deviate too far from their game plan. They come prepared and they don't change who they are.
I think at some point Andy Reid has gotten smart enough to realize I have this Patrick Mahomes guy under center. I should probably let him do what he wants. And, gets out of his own way and doesn't try to outthink everybody. Early in his career, that was his problem when he was with with the Eagles and even the early years with the Chiefs. It was I'm Andy Reid. I'm the smartest guy in the room. I'm going to run these crazy offensive plays, and we're going to beat you with that. And the reality is, trick plays don't work all the time. Your fucking weird offensive schemes don't always work out. But if you have a Patrick Mahomes on your team and you just trust him to get the job done, you're going to win 9 times out of 10.
But that's how I feel about Shanahan. I feel like he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. I think he outthinks himself majority of the time, and that's when he has these collapses.
Yeah,
it's a big moment, and he knows he's a great offensive mind. We all know that. But I think he just sometimes just outdoes himself.
Right, but he does it. It's the same. It does it every time he's in that spot. And so, we can have the argument that it took Andy Reid 20 years to break that cycle. And so, if we're talking in what is Shanahan in year 5, year 6 of head coach, I think. What was it? 2017 was his first year. So if we're talking in 2037, he finally breaks through. Yeah, cool. But there's a lot of time between now and 2037.
He probably don't be coaching in the NFL by then.
I saw some article saying that he needs a change of scenery, which is whatever. But who wants to wait that long for this guy to figure out that you're daddy's little nepotism kid, and that's why you have a job, and stop getting in your team's way. Stop choking double-digit leads.
I mean, I still wouldn't blame majority of the game on him though, because still don't forget you got Christian. He fumbled. You get what I'm saying? Then you had Brock. He threw a couple
but
ducks.
The Chiefs didn't do anything after that McCaffrey fumble. The one that
the
took
whole,
advantage
the
of
whole
was
thing is that
you're right.
We get on Harbaugh's case correctly all the time for your team constantly makes these mistakes, constantly puts themselves in a losing situation, and you don't calm the ship. And Shanahan does not have that ability to like calm people down. He gets that double-digit lead. He gets too cute thinking he's going to add on a lead, and it ends up fucking them in the end. Instead of just normal, basic, fundamental football, not muffing punts, running the ball when it works. And we were having this argument before the podcast. If it's not if you run that ball on that 3rd and 4 and it's 4th and 1, you probably go for that if you're the 49ers, and maybe you score a touchdown there, and then we're talking about a 3rd possession overtime and Jake Moody kicks a game-winning field goal. You never know, but because you didn't run the ball, you're 4th and 4, and you think that you got to take the field goal there, and that's why you lost. You put faith in your defense that you shouldn't have had, and shit went wrong. I mean, you don't put the ball in Mahomes' hands for the chance for him to win the game. That should be like coaching 101 walking in the Super Bowl, is you do not put the game in Patrick Mahomes' hands, and he did that.
The blocked extra point fucked things up too. Bad.
That too. But yeah, I mean, so like shit like that happens.
So that just shows you how important special teams is at all levels.
Yeah, it is, because that's how you get yourself in these situations where, inches matter and fucking play calls matter, and why it's a close game is because you fuck up on special teams. And when you're not playing a, clean game and you're making mistakes, like you gotta, settle things down and right the ship, for lack of a better term.
My parlays got so fucked up. So nothing would have hit no matter what because of fucking asshole George Kittle and his 2 catches for 4 yards. But I had it a couple different ways, but George Kittle fucked everything up, to be honest. I had a late money line bet I put in that got fucked, and that was 100% Kyle Shanahan's fault.
Well, wasn't going to bring that up, but it was 100% your fault that game went the way it did. It turned downhill quickly after you said that.
Man, what's his name? Whatever Rice, the dude Rice, number 4, man. He fucked my parlay up, man.
Rasheed Rice.
Yeah, missed it by 1 yard. Yeah, I had that.
I missed it by 1 fucking yard.
Yeah,
like,
I had a parlay missed by a half yard for Purdy because I took over 12.5 rushing yards. He only had 12. Kittle fucked me a bunch of ways.
But you know what, though? I should have just went with my regular self, because I had a part. I kept saying I like both quarterbacks for over 250. Of course, Christian to score. Travis Kelce over 60 yards.
Well, Kelce fucked a lot of people too by not scoring.
See,
I had him.
On this parlay, I wasn't gonna put him on there. You feel me? I was just gonna put like basic shit on there. They even Kyle Huschek for a reception. You feel me? Like on that shit. Damn, yo.
Yeah, you sent me one and I forgot to tell you on it. How'd that do?
I think it hit, but I ain't even place it.
Oh, damn.
I
wanted to tell.
If it had Debo rushing yards on there, it didn't hit.
I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it right now.
I did have another one without Debo, because I kept thinking like, man, should I take Debo and put Watson on it? And Watson hit, but
Debo didn't have any rushing yards, did he?
I ain't placed the ticket. I think he had -1. He had -1.
McDuffie had him in a box.
All right.
McDuffie had him in a box all game.
Yeah.
The clamps.
You had it over 16.5 rushing yards, so that wouldn't have hit. But the rest of it looked good. It looked good. He had Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 6.5 rushing yards.
That didn't happen.
It didn't?
Oh, yeah, that ain't happened.
No, Clyde played 3 snaps and had 1 touch for 0 yards.
Oh, shit, my bad. I thought you had Elijah Mitchell on there, though, right?
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell over 4.5. He definitely went over 4.5. MVS over 18.5. That definitely went over, right?
Yeah, that hit.
Yeah. Juszczyk over 4.5 receiving yards. That went over.
Yep,
way over.
Yeah,
motherfucker had like 30-something yards.
Yeah, and Debo
that was plus
over 16.5 rushing. So, I mean, it was a very tempting parlay. I mean, whatever. At that point, everything I bet didn't hit, and then the cherry on top was that fucking money line bet that I placed. And to be fair, that was not necessarily an impulsive bet. I planned on betting the 49ers money line at that number all week. It was when I was going to put it in, and I was waiting to get it. I was waiting for the right time.
What you called it at?
Would you get it like what was it like? Was plus something? Did you get it plus money or minus money?
I got minus money on it. Yeah. Now I should have waited
because the whole time they was minus the whole time.
I know that's what, and I was so I put it in when I did because I was like, I don't think I'm going to get it any better than this because they were winning by 3 points.
So the Chiefs shit was looking good, yo. I think at one time I wish I had waited.
I wish I'd waited like 2 more minutes because if I bet it when they were when it was tied, I probably would have got it at like plus 110 or something, you know?
Yeah, because I had the Chiefs plus 115, but I bet that at kickoff.
Yeah.
And then I had over 40. So.
But at the same time, who cares? It would have lost the same amount of money either way.
So did you,
Yeah.
hey Drew, did you take a live bet when they was like plus like 3 something?
No, I was in somebody's fucking basement. I couldn't get service. So
that's what the fuck I wish I would have did. Because when I did the live bet, everything.
Too bad you weren't in the attic.
The sheet, yeah.
You would have had service in the attic.
Yes, I would have, but I didn't go because the Ravens didn't make the fucking Super Bowl. So fucking, again, Ravens
this
fucking
was
me
our
over.
year.
It was.
This was our fucking year, man. Now we gotta have a long off season. This shit is crazy, man. Shit is crazy.
Do we want to get into the start of our long off season here? I feel like we should.
We need to, because last week
we have a semi-serious topic to cover.
No, it's a very serious topic, and last week we had plenty to talk about with it, but we didn't talk about it because
nothing was public yet.
It wasn't public, right? And really, the only thing I think that we really need to talk about with it, we can say what it is because it's public. The Zay Flowers news that there's a multi-state investigation, right? That he's been accused by his girlfriend of domestic violence. And
okay, so I want to stop you there because has he actually been accused of domestic violence, or has he been linked to a domestic violence incident?
He has. Okay, so he has been accused by her publicly of it, and he's been accused by her by other people, and that's where I'm going with this. Okay, so this is why I want to talk about it, because you and I have been probably the most vehement, I wouldn't even say like supporters or defenders of Zay, because we don't know what happened. But
I could just tell you by like looking at this, the story that originally came out seems to be a crock of shit.
Right.
It's because it's how it was broken, and it was who broke it, and it was why they broke it, and it just none of the shit adds up to me.
So I want to say a couple things. So here, I have a big problem with people who get information. You and I get information a lot.
Yeah, I don't run with most of it.
No, you and I get a lot of information. Trippy, you get information from people a lot. And we don't go on the internet and tell people about it. We don't tweet it. We don't go on the podcast and talk about it, because a lot of the time it's not true. A lot of the time it's people who it's somebody who comes to us and they think that we'll just say anything because, like a couple weeks ago, I got a lot of attention because I said I bought tickets for $73,000. I said that as a joke. Like I wasn't, I wasn't lying. I said a fucking joke, and then it like took off, right? Like, so like we say things to be funny. Like I wouldn't say something to be funny about Zay Flowers and his girlfriend having a domestic violence incident. That's not fucking funny, right? So like I don't play with people's lives, and these two people, Tyler, I'm saying their fucking names. Tyler Sperry and Ryan McCarthy are their names. Tyler Sperry is this fucking dork on Twitter. He's the first guy who started spreading rumors around on Twitter, and the guy Ryan McCarthy is the guy who on Facebook was spreading it around. And there's some other guy who was like spreading shit from Discord. But it's all linked back to the same two guys. So Ryan McCarthy is the guy who was verbatim sharing information. He claims it was coming from his friend who's a Baltimore County police officer who was at the scene responding to a domestic violence call. Now, that is already proven to be bullshit.
Yeah, there was false.
Right. There was a call placed on the morning of January 16th by what we now know was a female who it is very likely was Zay Flowers' girlfriend at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. on January 16th. That's a Monday, I believe.
Tuesday morning.
A Tuesday morning. So she was crying, and she said it was not an emergency. The police responded to the call because it was a troubling call, I guess. They went out, responded. They weren't responding to any threat of violence or an ongoing, situation. It was just a troubling call. She didn't even give an address. It was just that they geolocated her phone allegedly to that area. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So they responded basically to like a distress call. And when they got there, they talked to her. No, they took a report based on a distress call. There was no report or charge or anything like that filed about domestic violence or anything like that. That's what happened. Now, the Baltimore County police officer who was being quoted by Ryan McCarthy on Facebook allegedly said he was there and saw or was told that Zay Flowers' brother was waving a gun around outside the house. That's bullshit. Because if that happened, he would have been arrested, number one. We would have known about this, right?
When it happened, not weeks after the fact.
Yeah. If Zay were involved, he certainly would not have played in a fucking football game. A few days later, right? 2 football games, because that happened before the Texans game, and then also obviously before the AFC Championship game. So then after that, the day after that, actually, not the day after that, I'm sorry, a week plus after
5 days. 5 days.
5 days. 5 days after that, the 16th.
21st, she filed a police report with the Acton, Massachusetts Police Department.
Right. So she went back to Boston.
And I just want to say, anybody telling you that they have seen that police report or have some kind of inside information on that police report, I would take anything that they say cautiously, because Massachusetts enacted a law in 2014 that you basically can't share, the contents of that report with anybody. That it's on a need-to-know basis until charges are filed. So if anybody is walking around telling you I've seen that report, I would be very cautious in believing them.
The only people who have seen that report are police officers who are assigned to that case.
Who took her statement.
Right. The Acton police officers who are assigned to that case, and the Baltimore County police officers who are assigned to that case. Those are the only people who have seen it. So, and then I guess possibly bad actors inside of the Baltimore County Police Department who may have gotten their hands on it and then shared it. I don't know, maybe, but I doubt that. Or maybe people are talking inside the department. I don't know. I have talked to people who have knowledge of the investigation, not who have seen the file, anything like that, but who have more information than the public. And they said leaks happen and you don't know where they come from. But they happen all the time, and it's really hard to trace back where they come from. So, who knows? But the information coming from Ryan McCarthy and Tyler Sperry, the information's come from the same place. It's compromised information. That's the best I can label it. So, I can't say it's bullshit as much as I can say it's compromised. I don't know how well you can trust it, just because there was no what they're saying. A police officer who was at the scene saying there's a Zay Flowers brothers waving a gun around, this, that, and the other thing. If that was a statement given at the time that they responded to that house, there's no way she would have then left the state of Maryland, gone to Massachusetts, and filed a report. That just wouldn't have happened. They would have pursued Zay Flowers' brother at the time that she gave that statement. There would have been no need for her to go to Massachusetts to file the report that then was shared with Baltimore County. There would have been no need for a second report. So there's it's a convoluted situation. The fact that we're almost a month removed from the incident and no charges have been filed against anyone raises a lot of questions as to what kind of evidence is there that anything happened in the first place. These are really young people in a relationship. Who knows, if it was an argument, a breakup happened and there's some hurt feelings, and, how do you hurt someone who has a big public profile? You make accusations against them in public. I don't know, so that's where it stands. My big thing is I don't like people who get information before it's public and then they go put it out there, because then you have the court of public opinion making judgments against people when you don't have any verified or credible information to base your opinion on. That's what I don't like. So Drew has disappeared. I assume he's got something he's handling in his household. But what do you guys have to say?
Man, on that situation, I don't know, bro. I just mind my business. I still read up on shit, but like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't try to get into it. Like I said, like you said, we've been heard about it, but as soon as it came out publicly, everybody and their mother want to try to put their, you know what I mean? Like they want to be a lawyer, they
Right.
want to be an investigator. Like that's the shit I hate for real, for real. But it shows like I said, I don't know if it's true or not, but like it shows like how quick motherfuckers. I done saw motherfuckers making mock drafts. I saw motherfuckers talking about, oh, the team done, get rid of the whole team. Like shit was just crazy that day. But I mean, we'll see what happened though. But like I said, man, me knowing him personally, like for the couple months I know him, he don't seem like that type of person. And like I said, he come from what? A mother of 14. You feel me? Like
Yep. He has
14 kids.
13
So
siblings, and he's the oldest, right? He helped raise those kids.
right now, I think he ain't the oldest, but it's a cut. He like I think he. Damn, I can't. Don't get me lying. I know he not the oldest though, because there's a couple of them older than him. But like I'm saying, like I don't think he'll put himself in jeopardy like that to cost his family
Well, he's
shit
the
like
fourth,
that.
I think, because that's why he got number 4.
Yeah, he might be like the fourth youngest or the fourth oldest, something like that, I think. But I don't think he'll put himself in no danger like that to risk his, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Like you say, like, if come on, we know how Baltimore is, like me, myself, like in the city, I mean, no matter where I'm at, if I ride around and they find a gun on me, they locking my ass up no matter what it is. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's just like if the brother or whatever they were saying was waving the gun, whatever, blase, blase. And yeah, and they found the gun or whatever it was, they would have locked them up. We would have heard about that. You feel what I'm saying? So, especially out there where they live out, that's out in the county. You know, out the county, they don't play.
No.
You feel me? So it's just like, I don't know what it is. I just wish whatever the story is to just come out and hopefully everything is just false and then we could just move on from this shit.
Yeah, well, and how
It's
about
like,
this? Well,
man,
when someone is accusing someone of an assault, here's it's pretty simple. She says he beat me. Okay, you have injuries. He has injuries consistent with beating someone. The brother is accused of possessing and brandishing a firearm. Where's the firearm? So there's like here's the evidence required. Those are very simple things to locate and to document. So it doesn't take very long to figure those things out. It's been a month. Okay. You're not going to come up with those things a month later if you haven't come up with them already. So the reason it's taken so long, I believe the reason it's taken so long, if it was me, Grant, you, Trippy, Drew, Jake, we're everyday guys. This is Zay Flowers. Everyone knows who he is. They're going to extra lengths to make sure that people can't say, oh, you kind of just glossed over it because it's Zay Flowers. They're turning over every stone to make sure that people can't say you didn't do your due diligence because it's Zay Flowers and you didn't want to find something. I think they're making sure that all their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed here. But I don't think there's anything to find just because it would have been pretty easy to find. It's not, this is a little, a little 115-pound white chick. If she got her ass kicked by him, I think it would be pretty straightforward. I don't know. That's kind of, this is not the crime of the century we're talking about. This isn't like the fucking Italian job. This is if there was a fight, if there was an assault that happened, I think it would be pretty fucking obvious. But, I don't know.
No, it's factual. And yeah, like you said, I mean, mind you, y'all know I don't really internet. I do a little something, but very little. So you and Drew kind of explain the details of what's happened through this timeline is my real first of hearing it in detail. And you don't absolve anyone of anything until the truth comes out. All you can really do is wait and see. So if there's smoke, there's fire. But I don't know. This doesn't seem like something that would require months to figure out.
We also didn't mention there is a video floating around of Zay's girl at a Boston College football game where another girl approaches her and confronts her, and Zay's girl beats the fucking shit out of her in front of a large crowd of people. So we are not exactly talking about someone who has very good rage and self-control with her temper. So
one has a history, one doesn't.
Perhaps we are not talking about an assault.
We don't know.
Perhaps the assault was not against the person we think it was. or who the public assumes it was, and there's a stigma. There's a stigma with that.
I don't know what's been covered and what's not been covered. I don't have children, listeners. This is the shit that happens.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured was going on when you disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole fucking scene. But I want to tread very lightly around this because I'm not, nobody condones domestic violence. Like that's not
absolutely not.
Absolutely not a good thing. And people who come forward to report crimes that actually happen deserve, whatever praise, whatever necessary. But like we, the public, got an incomplete story. Like this never should have been in the public's hands. The reason why they don't have any information, the reason why nothing's happened, the reason why, we're still sitting here theorizing on podcasts about what happened is because the public got an incomplete story. Mm-hmm. And it was never meant for public consumption at any point. And so the fact that you have, a dipshit like Tyler Sperry running with this and pounding his chest about being right and saying that, oh, well, I got it from the same person that told me Zach Orr was going to retire 10 years ago. So that somehow lends you credibility is fucking sad. Like, chill out, wait for the facts to come out. Let's not rush to any kind of judgments here. When you look at the publicly told story and then you kind of start piecing together some of the other information that's out there, like, that it did come from Acton, Massachusetts, this report to Baltimore. And the story you're being told is that, they heard this directly from a cop who was on the scene. Like, there's a lot of shit that doesn't add up. So rather than pretending like, Zay Flowers is this villain or Zay Flowers is completely innocent, like there something must have happened. I don't know what. I don't know if it rose to the level of a crime. I don't even know if Zay was there or did anything wrong. But, that's the Baltimore police clearly said, Zay has not been named a suspect yet, which leads me to believe that might be some of the other parties that are rumored.
No, not even that. They didn't say he hasn't been named a suspect yet. They said Zay Flowers has not been charged with any crime. He is not a suspect in any crime, and any report indicating that he has is incorrect. Now, I also want to mention something else. What I just said a couple minutes ago about his girlfriend. There's a video out there of her. I found it. She is an animal. Okay.
Well, I mean, she's kind of a cheap shot artist. She was had her own personal security between her and snuffed the girl. But
she's an animal. Now, remember the play in the AFC Championship game. Remember the play. Zay Flowers. The fumble. Remember after the play.
He had cuts on his hand.
Cuts on his hand. Where was it? On his palm.
Yeah, again, I hate doing that. Like, that could have come from anywhere. Right? Hold
on. But remember after the game when they asked him about it, he said, Zay, you had a cut on your palm. Did that happen on the play? Did that happen from when you hit your hand after the play? He said, and his answer was like, no, that happened from something else. Now, a defensive wound on your hand, typically, where's that going to be?
I mean, inside of your hand, but we're also not criminal.
I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just saying, if a crazy bitch comes at you in your house, you're going to put your hands up.
I guess my overall point here is that everything that's being reported could be correct and we could be dealing with getting rid of Zay Flowers, but the reality is that we don't know that, and the reality is that it doesn't seem like that's what happened. So, like,
I'm just positing my own theory about
that's the exact problem, is that there are very few credible dots out there in the public, and so you leave the public to wander and come up with these stories that fill those dots, and they could be fucking anything.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as far as we've seen, Zay Flowers was not there for all we know. It really hasn't been said if he was, present at the residence or not when the police responded on the 16th. It seemed like he wasn't named in the police report, but that she heavily hinted at it involved an NFL player. But that was also a Baltimore Sun story behind a paywall, which I have a whole nother issue with. Right. But that's, to me, that's like unethical journalism. And if you had actual facts, you would be putting them out in the public, not putting them behind a paywall for subscriptions and clickbait. And I can see why Jeff C. left and went to The Athletic if that's the kind of shit that you're, pulling as a newspaper.
The Baltimore Sun just got bought out last week by, I believe, the people who run the Fox station.
Okay, so yeah, they're another perpetrator of fake news, as we've seen. Montgomery County man spent $73,000 on tickets. That would take half a second of journalism to follow up on it. Know that was fake. So
listen, he's only known as Will.
Yeah, he's only known as Will. I mean, it's just the whole thing to me. You're putting Zay in a very bad situation. like the public is by even speculating about this because we have no fucking idea what happened. And the two morons that decided to open their mouths about it and pretend like they knew what was going on when clearly they had no idea what was going on. I don't want to like admonish people's behavior here. Like we kind of say a lot of shit on this podcast that's a little bit questionable and, edgy, whatever you want to say. But like, I would never run a story that would just embarrass somebody.
Right.
I know that.
Well, we don't claim to be fucking journalists or like. Like I said before when we started talking about this topic, people tell us a lot of things, and we don't run to the internet and talk about it. We don't go on this podcast and talk about it.
If I
don't break news here.
If I do run with something that I get, it's typically I don't want to say like a positive story, but it's if it came from the person involved directly, I have no problem with sharing it. So like when the J.K. Dobbins incident happened, I have no problem making those DMs public because he sent those to me and there's no, agreed privacy on that. So like that story came from him. Yeah. That embarrassing story came from him directly.
But rumors, I'm saying rumors.
And what I'm saying is if I'm going to run with a rumor, whether it's this player's getting traded, this is a contract extension. Typically, I don't like posting that kind of stuff. But if I do, there's no harmful intent behind it. And I'm not publishing this to make somebody look bad and potentially cost them their career. Because as we stand right now, Zay had a bunch of endorsement deals that he seems to have been pulled from for the time being. So you have somebody like Tyler Sperry costing Zay Flowers money. And that's not okay in my book. That's not how you should do things. And he's not a journalist. That's the other thing. If he was an accredited journalist and wrote for a newspaper and he put this out because he thought he had it cold and he was a published author, like, fine. Again, I would probably personally use caution, not put that kind of story out there. But I also understand that, like, that's how you feed your family as you get clicks in that situation. So, and there would be repercussions for him being wrong on that too. But right now he's just an idiot with a Twitter account that has no repercussions for being wrong.
Yeah. Well, one of the people who were the first, one of the first journalists who did post the story I've talked to, and he said he heard the story weeks and weeks ago, probably before Tyler Sperry and Ryan McCarthy heard the fucking bullshit from whoever the fuck they heard it from. And he basically said, I thought it was bullshit when I heard it. So like none of the journalists were going to go post the story or talk about it.
Because they have credibility to protect. And right. Tyler Sperry and Ryan McCarthy don't have credibility to protect because they're nobodies. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody cares who they are.
Yeah.
So they can run with this story and thump their chest about it 10 years later and say, I got this right. But
I don't even know what those guys think they stand to gain. That's the thing, like, too. It's like when people tell us stuff, what the fuck do we stand to gain by talking about it?
I mean, I have selectively put things out there that we've heard, and it's typically under the, I don't know, it's in the form of a joke that I'm putting something out there just to kind of fuck with people. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that we know that we could say, but that's not who we are. I'm not a journalist. I don't really want to break stories.
Exactly.
Really
so anytime that we've said something, even if it's like by accident, like, like every year when I put out fake schedules and shit, like last year I on purpose, but by accident got like the Texans game right. Week 1 game. It was the only game I predicted. I got week 1.
I got a flurry of DMs before the draft saying that a Lamar extension was agreed to and was going to be announced on the 5-year anniversary of him being drafted. So I put out a moderate joke tweet saying, this date Lamar gets extended, this date we trade for DeAndre Hopkins. So that's what I wanted to happen. And then it went like bananas. And then Lamar actually ended up signing the extension. And everybody was like, well, how'd you know? And I was like, honestly, it was one of the 800 DMs that I get a day that I decided to weave into some kind of fucking, like fantasy land story for me. And it just happened to work out.
Yeah. When we're right about stuff, it doesn't benefit us at all.
No, because there's really nothing to gain.
I get followers from like my tweet about Travis Kelce telling the diabetes lady on the plane to fuck off. Like that. I get followers from jokes. Not
I get followers from bullying Richard Sherman, not from
exactly.
So
Trippy, you're on mute.
Maybe that's on purpose.
Well, he was trying to talk.
Did I miss any Grant hot takes?
That was on purpose. My bad. I was talking to somebody. My fault.
Oh, all right.
No, you're good.
No, Grant hasn't spoken in a while.
This dumbass basketball parlay because after this, I'm done baseball season. I can't keep doing this shit.
Trippy, I'm on hiatus until baseball starts. And then hey, you want to get in on UFL betting with me?
That's gonna be so fake. That's gonna be so
man,
fake. Don't
I
do
ain't
it.
fucking with that shit, man. That shit
Don't do
rinky
it.
dink, man.
The fuck, yeah, you bet you were betting on like Louisiana Lafayette fucking player props and shit on Thursday nights, and you're not gonna bet on the UFL?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though, Will. They not gonna have player props for that shit.
Yes, the fuck they will.
They ain't have it last year, so why they gonna have it this year?
Because the rosters are way bigger.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, if they got some player props, I'll see. But they ain't got no player props.
I don't support anything Dwayne the Rock Johnson is involved in. That guy can eat my dick.
Because that shit
against the Rock.
That shit. They be trying. Because I used to do that. What was that shit last year? What's that team? The Pittsburgh.
Who hates anybody positive?
What the fuck is the name of that team? The Pittsburgh something, whatever. Damn, I forgot the name of that league. But I took them motherfuckers money line, and it was like I did like a parlay, and that was the only leg I ain't hit. It was like minus 400, and them motherfuckers lost, man. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. You can't even like. I don't know. I gotta see. I'm just waiting on baseball.
He's got PTSD from the fucking XFL.
Yeah, I got PTSD from the fucking Rock's voice.
And I'm really and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm really upset because I ain't hit on not one Ravens parlay this year.
Not one?
Not one. Only thing I hit on was probably a couple pass, like a couple little.
Yeah, you had that that game you were on PSF with Will and I where you were fucking.
Yeah, Rashad, and I had like the Rashad Bateman anytime touchdown, hit off a $50 free bet. I ain't really bet like that on Christmas because it was Christmas time. You had to make sure the kids got right, but shit, that was the time to make money. Shit, you could have made money all type of ways. Ravens plus 5.5, Ravens minus 5.5, Ravens minus 6.5, 7.5, 8.5.
I was doing great. I gave it back. I gave it back pretty good, man, in the AFC Championship and the last 2 weeks of the season.
Even Lamar to win MVP. I did a little 6-leg. I had like Lamar winning MVP, like Bijan Robinson rookie, the offensive rookie, Will Anderson. I hit fucking 2 out of 6. I wish I would have just did Lamar by itself because Lamar was 1,500 by itself.
You got greedy, man. You can't go fucking parlay on that shit.
I mean, I'm still learning though how to do the future bets and shit. Just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go parlay on those awards, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you go parlay for $1 on those and you walk away with like $200,000.
Yeah. You can do that like a $5 bet, but man, you got to bet those straight. Those awards.
Somebody hit on the Super Bowl. Like I be thinking that shit fake. So look, they took the Chiefs money line. They had Jawan Jennings scoring and MVS 3-leg.
Yeah, but the thing that they don't show you is that they put in 80 other bets, and that just happened to be the one that hit.
Yeah,
that's all a volume game. Or you get the
dude. That's how I bet. That's it. That's how I bet.
Right. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I had the money like that, the bet like that, maybe I would be like, all right, let me just do a bet like this. But sometimes you just be trying to make that one, like couple tickets where though you got a chance. But what I'm gonna do next year is I'm learning. I'm not gonna put the same motherfucker on the same ticket because that Kittle shit. You right, yeah. Will. I had another ticket. Kittle's fucked me up. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Kittle's fucked me up on the 20. I had him for 25 yards. Fucked me up. Then I had him for like 4 catches, I think, something like that. Fucked me up on the other ticket. So I gotta learn like not to put like the same motherfucker on certain tickets.
But it's hard. The Kittle, we're all brainwashed on this fucking Kittle, this asshole.
Well, 25 yards is what most of us put him in for, and that should be like 3 catches.
That's what I mean. That is what I put him in for.
I think he had it on the first drive though, but then they called it back on the flag. He had a couple yards on that first drive.
2 catches for 4 yards. What the fuck, man?
Is embarrassing.
Right, I'm saying he had 2 catches for 4 yards.
Look, he had never trust a guy with a ponytail.
Look, he had 2 catches for 4 yards for the whole game.
He has a fucking haircut like Ryan Mink's wife.
But look, what I'm saying is, you're dumb as shit. But look, what I'm saying though, hey yo,
he's screaming at people at dinners.
Hey yo, if Ryan Mink hear this shit, I know he ain't gonna laugh at that part though. But fuck that guy. He had a catch. He had a catch on the what's the name? Oh yeah, shout out to I mean, I wasn't really fuck with him, but I guess he on my good side now.
Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett, he cool. Oh yeah, because you was right there, Will.
Garrett was
right
grinning.
there, right?
He was grinning at you. Garrett walks in like he's fucking Lamar Jackson when he walks in that fucking entrance, man. You would think that he's somebody real special.
I said, y'all, they go to Trippy hater. He's like, I'm not a Trippy hater, man.
you got your real white voice on for that.
Yeah. That dude looks like the dude you bring along to go do drugs, and he's like, "All right, boys, who's got the drugs?" He's like the narc or the square of the group. That's what he feels like to me.
I mean, he cool though.
Yeah, I don't mind.
But Ryan Mink, though,
he's tall as fuck. Hey,
look,
I was trying to tell Trippy who he is. He is goddamn, what the fuck is his name from The Office?
Yeah, you said his name too. I can't remember his name, but I remember.
Gabe. He's Gabe from The Office.
Yeah.
See, Ryan Mink, he think he's slick though. His ass, cause like during training camp, like I wouldn't say not the first day of training camp, but like whenever they started like hitting and shit like that, like one-on-ones, they have all the sports like reporters and shit. He like to put his little sunshades on and shit and try to act like he all disguised. I went up to him like, man, I know who you is, Ryan. Man. He's like, yo, hey, what's going on, man? I'm like, fuck out of here, man.
He's one of like 3 people on Twitter I have blocked. So
you have him blocked?
Yeah. No, he started that whole fucking, film slander fest on Lamar, and I asked him why, and he gave me some bullshit canned answer, and I was like, have fun on the bench, asshole.
So you just straight blocked him?
Yeah, straight blocked him. I got no time for that shit.
That is fucking hilarious. You blocked him.
He's also blocked me. But
there's a couple Raven fans that got the Ravens page blocked now.
Yeah, that was a fucking Mr. Yuri special.
What's up with Yuri? Yo, he going through it, man. Going through it right now.
He ran a great campaign last year and got Greg fired. He went and left all those loose leaf papers in front of the castle, and started the Fire Greg Roman movement. And he's lost his way.
We solved that mystery. We actually happened to just have him on that week. We solved that mystery real quick.
It's almost like we knew he did it, so we invited him on the podcast.
Yeah.
That man going through it. Yo, did you see his fucking mock draft where he traded like everybody?
I put out a great mock draft. Mock draft today.
Yo, this motherfucker traded Lamar. He traded Lamar to the Bears. Then he traded like Ronnie Stanley. He traded Mark Andrews. Like, it was just, yo, that shit was crazy, yo. I was laughing at it, though. Somebody was like, yo, Trip, that shit not funny. I'm like, bro, I could laugh at what the fuck I want to laugh at. That shit was funny.
The start of
people take shit way too seriously.
Yo, my bad, Drew. I realized about Ravens fans, right? They be in their fucking feelings, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And it's fucking sad. Like, I'm gonna tell you, the same ones that was dick riding for Lamar. Because one thing about me, like Lamar, my man, I fuck with him, want him to win plenty of Super Bowls. But sometimes he do play bad. And I'm admit to that shit. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, this and that. Some of them motherfuckers, when you say that, they get mad. That's why a lot of them got me blocked and shit. And, the shit I was saying, like, Lamar just got to learn how to read the defense. Not saying he can't play ball. I'm just saying, like, sometimes don't force the ball to just a certain receiver. Go through your progressions, etc. Right? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Now at the AFC Championship game, oh yeah, yo, I ain't calling Lamar no more. I ain't babying him up no more. Us as a fan base, we gotta stop doing this. And I'm saying to myself, like, oh, now y'all trying to turn on them, but shit happened. You feel me? Like,
these are the same people though that last year. These are the same people that last year were like wanted to bring torch and pitchforks to EDC's house and like drag him out in the street. And now they're talking about how he pulled off a masterclass and John Harbaugh ruined his perfect roster. So like, this is what they do. They have hot takes. They run the opposite direction from them when they go wrong, and then they go full bore the other direction.
I mean,
there's many people, but there is one of them in particular today that put out a tweet that was talking about, Lamar's cap hit's going to make EDC's job too hard. Meanwhile, at this time last year, he was essentially calling the organization racist, saying that they wouldn't give Lamar a $300 million fully guaranteed contract.
Right.
And it's like, motherfucker, the reason why you don't give him a fully guaranteed contract is because it makes the cap hits too hard to manage.
Right.
Like, this is why this is like when we were talking earlier, when we were joking about Chris Jones earlier, there is a reason that EDC gets paid the money that he does. And it's because me as a fan, I can yell from the mountaintops that I want AJ Brown and, Chris Jones and fucking name any high-priced player that's going to be available. The reality is it's not going to work. And if it's going to work, it's going to be because somebody who is a lot smarter than me, who knows a lot better of the inside details, that kind of shit, makes it work.
Right.
This whole nonsense of thinking that like we're not playing Madden. This is real football. You can't turn the salary cap off. It's real dollars and cents. Stevie B's got to write the check for it. You know what I mean? Like, this is not just a fucking video game with fake money. It's fake money for me. So I can scream from the mountaintops that I want Steve Biscotti to spend fucking $800. Biscotti. Do I have to do this every week?
Biscotti.
Yeah.
Win the Super Bowl. Win the Super Bowl, and you can be not named after the cookie anymore. Until then, you're Steve Biscotti.
I thought that was cannabis.
I mean, technically, he was the owner of during the 2012-2013 season when they won the Super Bowl.
What have he done for me lately, Jake? What has he done for me lately? Nothing but mental
extended
health
Lamar,
crises.
extended Lamar 5 years.
So I'm saying, though, is that possible?
If you're going to continue to say Biscotti, you got to be like, Steve Biscotti, you got to bring me another Super Bowl. And then maybe I'll consider not making your last name a cookie.
No, I'm saying, like, is it possible, like, for Steve, like, all right, say for, like, all these free agents we got right now, we got, 23, right? Is it possible, like, is it up to really, like, Steve, like, where's though we can get all 23 back and we can try to run it back?
Yeah, it's not realistic, but it's possible. I mean, all those players would have to agree to like heavy signing bonuses and no base salary, and Steve would have to put like 5 void years on every contract, and he'd be paying the bill for that until 2030. But it's possible. It's just not. It's not realistic. Is the problem.
If I was EDC, well, see, EDC, he do get the bargain deals for like 1 year though. Like, I think we should just get a couple 1 year deals.
What last offseason should teach anybody is that EDC has a very clear goal on what he wants to do with this team, and he finds ways that nobody thinks of to reach that goal. We had problems for years with him and how he dealt with wide receivers, and last offseason put his hands up and said, yep, we fucking fucked up wide receivers for 4 years. Here's Odell and here's Zay Flowers. We've always had a problem with cornerback depth, and so he drafted Brandon Stevens and got him turned into a legitimate corner. And then he went and backfilled that roster with a bunch of guys who were, former Pro Bowl caliber guys who had not played well the last couple of years or who had been hurt. And Ronald Darby came in and played well. Arthur Mollett came in and played well. You saw somebody like Jadeveon Clowney who, for whatever fucking reason, was just sitting there on the market, and he lowballed the shit out of him. And Clowney's like, fuck it, let's go to Baltimore.
I want them 3 back.
He played chicken with Kyle Van Noy. People are never going to give him credit for that, but Kyle Van Noy apparently came in and asked for some fucking ridiculous contract during training camp. And EDC's like, yeah, we'll pass. And then he got him for a fraction of that in week 4. I mean, you can look at drafting Matabike has worked out. You can look at drafting Geno Stone's worked out. People question the Patrick Queen pick, but that ended up working out.
Oweh is working out more and more on like a weekly basis. He gets better and better and better.
Yeah, he's not putting up the sack numbers, but he's still doing the dirty work.
And I think Oweh is going to this year be a sack machine. Personally,
I hope so.
Or Ojabo is going to be a sack machine, and Oweh is going to be the guy taking the double teams. Either way, I mean, you're looking at
Oweh's is in a contract year this year. We just saw what happened with Matabike in a contract year.
I think he's gonna have a breakout year this year.
Yeah,
I'm very tempted to pick up Oweh's 5th-year option.
But I want to say that I want to say this though, like our biggest offseason move should be we gotta sign Justin Matabike back. Like, I think it's only right because if you think about it, look, that'd be a Pro Bowl on the line.
And it's
We got Roquan and Kyle back there. You feel me? So
if you're not signing Matabike back, it's because you have a deal in hand with Chris Jones, or you have some kind of deal with the Rams that you're bringing in Aaron Donald. That you're bringing in somebody who is just as solidified as who has put up numbers just like Matabike.
I think Matabike is going to get tagged, and they're going to be working really, really hard in that window to get him extended because they don't want to eat that tag number because it's
17 million, I think.
Yeah, well, I think it might be bigger than that. I forget what it is, but whatever it is,
he's an interior lineman, so it's a little less.
Didn't we franchise Olodinada before?
I believe we did at some point. Yeah.
Well, so I don't think they want to eat that number though because it's all in 1 year, so they can extend him And I think he would like to be here. I think too, like at the right price.
Well, in that worst case scenario, you give him a like a Saquon Barkley kind of deal where he gets paid at least the same amount, but then he's got some incentives built in there, and he lets you put in void years to make the cap situation easier.
Right.
If you can't come to a long-term extension, but regardless, I think Madubuike is here next year.
Yeah.
Speaking of Saquon Barkley, do we look at running back in free agency?
I don't think so.
How much do they cost? It's a cost thing. If you have like a
but y'all say J.K. Dobbins coming back.
No. If J.K. Dobbins wants to come back, he's got to come. Fulfill his promise and sign merch at my house. Been waiting for a fucking almost a whole year.
I got to sign J.K. Dobbins football.
No, I want him to walk up to my front. I want him to walk up to my front door and sign something and leave it there for me.
I don't think he's going to do that though, bro. If you was an Ohio State fan, he probably would. But you're a Michigan fan. I don't think he's going to do that.
I called him a sucker. It hurt his feelings.
But no, real shit though. I want to see JK come back. Like, it ain't gotta be like on a big deal, just to like prove itself. You know what I mean? If he can stay healthy, I know what y'all saying, but I felt like this is gonna be a breakout season for him.
I don't see him getting much past the minimum from any team. Doesn't matter if it's us or somebody else. He can't stay healthy.
You're doing that hold-in shit last year. Imagine how he's gonna feel when he signs a vet minimum contract. So I'm not dealing with that.
You don't feel like shit. That's too bad.
But hey, he proved himself.
He
proved himself. Somebody upside of next year for it.
But so to answer Grant's question, Derrick Henry, Saquon, and Josh Jacobs, I would say, are like the three premier running backs on the market. And if we're starting to get towards camp and we haven't drafted like a Blake Corum or an Audric Estime or a Bucky Irvin or somebody or who's the fucking Powell or something like that.
Who's the guy from Alabama?
Allen.
Oh, you're thinking of Braylon Allen from Wisconsin, Trippy. I know whatever the Bama running back's name is. I don't know. But again, if we don't grab one of those guys and we're getting towards camp and we really haven't made any move at running back and like Derrick Henry's sitting out there and you can talk him into a 1 year, $5 million contract, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to spend.
I'll take that.
$5 million, yes. Absolutely $5 million.
Or even it's like an Odell type contract where it's a 1 year and the base salary is $5 million and it's $5 million cap hit, but you're really paying him $12 or $14 million. At that point, I don't care. It's not my money.
Right.
All I really care about is the cap amount. So if you can get them here for a cap hit less than $5 million, fucking go for it. I'm all on board with that.
The one who intrigues me the most, obviously Derrick Henry and Saquon are exciting for obvious reasons, but Josh Jacobs is an intriguing fit to me.
I think they're all
a down year too.
So here's my thing too though, is that we have Keaton Mitchell that's going to be coming back. He's kind of our younger back. What do they do with Justice Hill? Harbaugh loves him on special teams, but
we can save almost his entire salary if we cut him.
Yeah, and which is huge for.
And he's also a cut. But you got to look at what the running back position means to this offense. And if you have an opportunity to get a guy like a Derrick Henry, a Josh Jacobs, a Saquon, like you go get them. Like you've seen what happens with the roulette at running back, and maybe the uncertainty at running back had something to do with the game plan for the. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw shit at the wall, but at the same time,
I agree with you. So here's what
you get a Saquon Barkley. You put him in this offense and Monken's offense with his athleticism and his ability to run outside or inside, and you have Lamar on the RPOs, quick screen, stuff like that, and he catches the ball, lines up in a slot. Like when he's healthy, he's a dude, and he's been pretty well lately.
Yeah, so that's what you do.
I'm with you on the talent.
Yeah. So what you do is, and this is gonna hurt Harv's, but someone's got to fucking basically grab him by the ears and shake his head and say, "Listen, buddy. This shit blew up in our face, so you gotta we gotta take a left turn from what you're used to doing. Cut Justice Hill. He was a huge reason that the fucking AFC Championship game got away from us. Cut Justice Hill.
No.
Yeah, that wasn't Justice's fault.
Excuse me.
No.
Hold up.
No.
I have to finish my thought here. Cut Justice Hill. Save $2 million. Sign a Saquon, a Derrick Henry. I mean, in that case. Sign or a Josh Jacobs, any one of those three, honestly, and then draft a Blake Corum, an Audric Estime, any one of the guys.
So Blake Corum won't play special teams. That's what you basically telling me.
No, Keaton Mitchell will. And
Man, Keaton
But I'm
Mitchell ain't
saying-
playing no damn special team. Keaton Mitchell
what are
probably
you
ain't even
doing?
gonna be ready for
No.
the season yet,
I
bro.
don't.
You gotta think
I
about
don't
that.
think.
well,
I don't
we
think
also
we need to draft.
Can I address?
we also
Will's
have
stupidity first? Hold on.
well,
And
hold
then
on.
you
What-
say it was
hold
Justin
on.
Hill's fault
Yeah,
by the
what did-
AFC. That wasn't
Yeah.
his fault.
No,
I
hold
didn't-
on. Before we get hey,
Justice
hold on,
Hill
before we
Justice
get
Hill
into
was
that.
a complete liability in pass protection.
Well, I guess it was Gus Edwards' fault too, because the motherfuckers only had 3 carries apiece. Come on, bro. That's crazy.
I'm not talking about carries.
He's
I'm talking about
snaps.
Justice
Why-
Hill was
yeah,
on
you're-
the
Pass
field.
protection.
Pass
Right,
protection.
But
But
why
I
was
don't
it just? Why was it Justice Hill? That your issue? You're blaming Justice Hill for Harbaugh's ineptitude. That's my issue with your statement.
But I'm talking about John Harbaugh's continued loyalty to Justice Hill.
So you're saying take his toy away so he doesn't do anything stupid?
Yes.
But I'm not blaming the AFC Championship game on Justice Hill.
No,
That's
no,
just
but I'm
too
saying
far.
he was one of the key issues in the game with the dumbass decision to go with that game plan was Justice Hill being on the field in pass protection.
This is the same thing as people getting mad at Patrick Ricard for running wheel routes, and like it's not Patrick Ricard's fault. He did what the coach said.
No,
It's the coach's fault.
all I'm saying is this is one of the symptoms of the issue. But I led that by saying, hey, someone has to go to John Harbaugh and say, hey, we're getting rid of your guy.
And then
But-
your sound bite
All
with
right,
the
we're
AFC
getting off
Championship
topic.
game is just
Hey,
so
we're
slow.
getting off topic. Hold
Well,
on.
that's because
Hold on.
Drew
Damn it, shut up.
only listened to one little part of what I said. Obviously,
Correct. No, I listened to the whole thing. I just got mad at one little part
All
of
right,
what you said.
we
But I
got
need to
off-
correct that.
Hold on a
Shut
second.
up. Hold on.
No,
So-
let Grant talk. Shut up, Chip.
Yes,
Let Grant
Jesus Christ. All right. But I don't want us to draft a running back this year. None
draft
of the
two.
running
How
backs
about this?
really-
Draft two.
No, none of them really stand out in the sense of we've got guys that we can get. We know that we're successful getting undrafted guys. You know, there's plug and play guys in free agency. You know, Dalvin Cook might be an option to come back on a low level deal because it seemed like he enjoyed the place. But I think you do focus on trying to get one of the top tier guys that is in free agency because it's not often. Usually these guys are done in trades. When they leave their organization, they're done in trades. But it
Dalvin
seems
Cook
like
is not a bad
20%
idea either. By the way, Grant, you're right. I didn't think about that. Bringing him back in, not a bad idea.
Bring him back in. You got Keaton coming back, and then you sign one of the big dogs.
I guess
it
what
seemed
I'm-
like Henry was all about coming here, like it's part of the trade.
Fucking moron owner for the Titans. But I guess you're married to
Menopause.
the idea. You're married to the idea of signing a big dog. I'm not opposed to it, but I think that you kind of weigh your options. You know what I mean? That if you can get Saquon Barkley for the right price, then yes, that's the slam dunk, no brainer move. If those
What's
guys
the right
go for
price,
crazy,
though?
like I said, if you can make his cap hit around $5, $6, $7 million, and then I don't care what you're paying him over the cap hit.
Yeah,
Just
you
make
can
him-
signing bonus that.
Yeah,
What
like
does anybody know like what offensive linemen are free agents? Does anybody know who's out there?
not a ton of guys.
Here, I'll pull it
unfortunately.
up. Hold on.
So, and that's the other real issue that we have is what do you do with Ronnie Stanley? Because I don't think that he can be on your opening day roster at his current cap number.
No chance. There's
no,
no
not at
chance.
all.
We should
What is it,
bring in the
26?
dude that we should bring in the dude that just got released from the Steelers. I forgot his name, O'Keefe or some shit.
The Steelers were
Dude's a
praising-
core for hell no.
They
He's trash.
They were
He's a
praising
bad
his-
tackle.
They were praising his release like we were praising Alejandro Villanueva's release from the Ravens. So I am not interested in that guy at all.
Not special. Let's not
he-
go back down that road with that.
he
fucking
might need
terrorist.
he might need to change the scenery.
Yeah, he can go.
We
change
thought
All
the
right.
same thing
somewhere else.
about the tall terrorist. That didn't go well.
So, Will, who's the name that just made you say all right?
Tyron Smith.
Is he?
Tyron
he hasn't
Smith,
been
fuck
healthy.
no, hell
Is
no.
he- is he a-
They could be ready to move on from him because they got Tyler Smith at guard, who's been a stud guard, and he's their future at left tackle. They said.
Give me Donovan Smith, Super Bowl champ.
Did you
Okay.
not say? Yeah,
Uh,
Donovan Smith and John Simpson
and-
block air a lot.
And
They're the same
what
guy.
you were talking about, I'm not even going to try and say his first name, but Okorafor, right? From
Dude's a
Pittsburgh.
Wow.
core for.
No.
Yeah.
Jake
No.
already said, fuck no.
Hell no.
Trash.
Dwayne
Hard
Brown.
pass.
Hell to the no.
Dwayne Brown from the Jets is a hell no, right?
How about
Too
Mekhi
old.
Becton?
He's
Is
too
Mekhi
fucking
Becton out
old.
there?
No, we don't, bro. I ain't gonna like listening to Jet fans in their spaces on Twitter.
He's
No,
good, but he
Hey,
never helped.
he's alright, but no, I'd rather keep
James
Ronnie
Hurst
Stanley
is
for all that.
available. James Hurst, we can
Oh
bring him in.
God!
Nope.
The
all right,
original
last.
style.
All right, what about corners? There's my other one. That's
Hold
my
on. I'm going down the list of tackles. Donovan Smith.
Sure, if you want
So-
some, I don't.
I mean, I wouldn't mind him though. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind. I mean, he got the championship. He got the championship pedigree. I mean, he played under Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady. I mean, that could, you know what I mean? Something. It could be something.
Isaiah Wynn from Miami.
I'd be interested in taking Isaiah Wynn because the Patriots took him where they should have taken Lamar in 2018. So, and if he works out, it would piss off Patriots fans. But that's totally for my own amusement. I don't actually want him on the team. So, pass. He is a Georgia guy though. So I don't know.
He is.
Matt
I think he predates Monken.
the Giants.
Yeah, I don't want a Giants offensive lineman. No, thank you.
Yeah, Deion Jones got killed behind that line.
Other than Andrew Thomas, but he's not up anytime soon.
True.
So
George Fant. Let me see. What's his name? Elawanamaner, our favorite guy.
Illuminar.
Oh,
Jameson Illuminar. Only
aluminum.
block.
Does-
Greatest
doesn't-
blocker on Twitter ever.
doesn't he have you blocked?
And he unblocks and blocks me
is.
quite frequently.
you
Only
go.
blocks he can hold for any length of time around Twitter though. So yeah, no.
Yeah.
thanks.
I think that's gonna do it. Not a lot of
That's-
talent.
That's the thing, because like I get Ronnie Stanley's played like shit over the past since he's gotten hurt, thanks to TJ Watt's being a dirtbag. The drawback is when we're in a position to get a high quality left tackle, we're picking within the top 10 of the top 5, top 10 of the draft.
You can't
And
pay
those people get taken very, very early. Now I'm right there with you though, Drew.
You can't
something
you can't
does
pay
need to
him
be done
that,
about
so.
his cap number. That 26 mil is way too fucking high.
And so if it's a restructure extension kind of thing, I don't really love that idea, but I love the idea of Ronnie Stanley not being on this roster at a $26 million cap hit. So
agreed.
if that means that he is traded somewhere, so be it. If that means he's released, so be it. If that means he's extended and reworked and we're, kicking the can down the road and praying it works out, then so be it. But he cannot start. He cannot play under that current contract. Just can't happen. It's too much money for a guy that is not going to give you that kind of production.
Yep.
And then Grant, you asked about corners, free agents.
Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, let's look at that.
Yeah, because my heart is set on Jair for Alexander if we're going. We're making a splash move at corner. That would be where I would
trade for him. Yeah.
Yeah, trade for him and bring back
corners.
Ronald and Arthur and probably draft.
Yeah,
the
I do
cornerback.
want Ronald back. I do want Ronald back.
There's some decent ones out there. Okay, so this is not. I wouldn't call this a decent one. Adoree Jackson, Kendall Fuller. I like Kendall Fuller.
Yeah, he's all right. He's nothing.
You talking about Adore Jackson?
Yeah,
Adoree Jackson from the Giants.
Yeah,
formerly of the Titans.
Micah Hyde.
No, thank you.
Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore is always available. It feels like.
I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind Stephon because I ain't gonna lie.
He's physical. I like it.
I slandered him way too much while he was with the Patriots for me to see him come to Baltimore and be successful. So I can't do it.
Michael Davis.
I don't hate the idea, but I can't do it.
Michael Davis from the Chargers. Jeff Okudah is available. We all wanted him when the Lions.
I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on him. He hasn't panned out yet.
Ooh, I like this one. Awuzie. He's an unrestricted free agent from Cincinnati. I would like to have.
So I like that because he's a solid corner, but it also hurts the Bengals. So that's
and he would have venom for them.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm in on him.
I do like him.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that move.
Okay. Emmanuel Mosley, excuse me.
And he's another one like I wouldn't hate. I'm not gonna go throw big money at him or anything, but if he's if you're putting him on like a Rockets,
right?
49ers for a while and then the Lions this year.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Rob. I was happy to see you as a Raven, Rob, but it's time. It was nice having you here, Rob.
So you paid Rocketson $6 million last year. I think?
$6 million, yeah.
And so if you're giving Mosley that $6-ish million number, I'd be fine with that.
CJ Henderson.
That's another one. Again, that's a high draft pick that hasn't really worked out, but I wouldn't mind taking a flyer
on him.
Yeah.
Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, Michigan legend. Sign him. I'm in.
Steven
One
Nelson,
pick from a long time ago.
Still Michigan legend.
Levi Wallace.
Yeah.
Yo, I did some dumbass shit. Yo, I can't believe I took LeBron for 6 rebounds instead of AD rebounds.
You can't trust LeBron. Can't do that.
I don't know why I did that shit.
The
I'm
only time
just
you
trying
might
to
be able
different.
to trust him is if he's on ESPN or ABC.
Bro, it's
They usually show
halftime
out
right
on
now.
there. But either way,
And they
fuck LeBron James.
And they
He's a
fucking the
bitch.
Pistons up. He probably don't even
And-
get back in the game.
Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills. What do you think about Jalen Mills?
No.
Oh,
no,
I like Jalen Mills. I think
I
that'd
like
be a nice
Jalen
pickup.
Mills.
No, he's a
Special
safety.
team.
He's a safety. He's not a corner.
For
Sean,
real?
Sean Bunting.
Yeah.
Murphy Bunting.
Sean Button, yeah, I like him. He cool.
Shaq Griffin.
No.
Murphy
He's got
Bunting
two-
would be interesting.
I would take Shaq Griffin if we get his one-armed brother in the deal too.
That's
Just
right.
because.
We get 3 arms.
Yeah, we get 3-armed Griffin.
Yeah. 3 hands.
Hey, yo.
RG3.
All right, hold
RG3.
on. I'm not going to name every single one. I'm going to go through this and see if I see anybody that. Okay, so Darby and Rocky Sin are both UFAs.
I want Darby back.
Oh, guess who's out there? Eli Apple.
No,
I'm going to pass on him. I'm going to pass on him.
Listen, no, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, EDC, if you listen to this, please do not sign Eli Apple. The only way I can see Eli Apple being a Raven unless the injury bug happened to the cornerbacks and he
Hold
the
on.
last
I got an idea here. It's a hot take.
You can sign me as the cornerback for all
You
that.
sign Eli Apple to your practice squad, and you let whatever wide receiver needs a confidence boost line up against him in practice all week, and you get them flowing for Sunday. So I'm in with that. If you sign Eli Apple to the practice squad for that specific reason, then I'm in. Otherwise, no.
All right, so we have 5 DBs on this that I'm seeing so far. God damn. We got
Extend Daryl Worley.
Okay, he's on there. We got Rocky Sin. We got
Gone.
Ronald Darby. We got Daryl Worley.
Keep.
Yeah.
Trayvon Mullen.
Yeah.
And what's his
Arthur
name?
Mollett.
Arthur Mollett.
Keep.
Darby and Mollett are my 2 guys I'd keep out of that group.
Yes.
Bo Pete Keys. Man, that name gets me every fucking time.
Yeah. Great name. Didn't do anything, so no thanks.
No.
You said who?
Bo Pete Keys.
We signed him and then he didn't play all year, so yeah.
It's another cornerback. It's another cornerback I like too. I think his name like Jeremy Lucas. He was like an undrafted cornerback last year.
Logan Ryan was on the 49ers?
Yeah.
He played for like
Vanderbilt. He was number 33.
Like Trippy, you're talking about Jeremy Lucien, and I think we can take him back. Another practice squad guy.
Yeah, watch out for that name. I think he's probably gonna make the squad.
He's big and fast and didn't really have a ton of ball skills, but he's a guy that he can't hurt. He's a Chris Westry kind of guy. Some idiots might tell you he's the 3rd best corner on the team in training camp. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Chicken Little?
He moved somewhere and doesn't have chickens anymore.
Oh, there you go.
Yo, that shit. That you talking about who? Chris Westry?
So do you know who Adam Beemore is? Trippy?
Adam Beatmore? No, I heard of that name though.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago before training camp, he posted, he put like the fucking warning signs and the sirens and he's like, Chris Westry is the 3rd best corner on this team. Like, suck a dick if you don't agree with me. And then like tripled and quadrupled on that take. And then Westry just kept getting fucking torched all year. And it was like, so Will and I made fun of him for that.
He did used to get torched, but the only thing I liked about him was, and I don't know what it was just his size.
Yeah,
right. Just like remember Curry Williams? Remember Curry Williams?
Yeah,
same thing with him.
He looked the part.
Yeah. You can't teach somebody to be tall and fast. And so I get the attraction to guys like that, but they need other skills is the problem. And Chris Westry did not have those. Good times. That was peak. That was classic vintage Drew and Will, had 100 followers each, cyberbullying people.
Yep.
I miss those days.
I will ask this. Kevin Zeitler, bring him back or let him walk?
Oh, yeah.
I think we should bring him back.
As long as he wants to play.
Yeah, keep him here until he wants to retire.
Yeah. My thing with him was I wrote him off as not being a Raven next year because I thought he was going to retire, but he seems to be gearing up to play again. So yeah, fucking bring him back.
Yeah, bring him back because Sarah, that's his wife name. We listened, man. Trip, we still waiting on the red velvet cookies, man. Still waiting on some red velvet cookies.
Yeah,
We can tag
thing with
those.
him, Odell, and
Yeah,
a couple others they added the void years to. Gotta get those deals done by, I think, Saturday. Otherwise,
No, they extended the deadline on Odell's. It's closer to the free agency start. I don't remember exactly when. It's in March at some point.
I know some people saying don't bring Odell back. I think we should still bring him back.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
he can play.
Again,
They just didn't fucking use him.
Odell is another one. If Odell wants to continue to play football, my only caveat to Odell is if he is dating Kim Kardashian, you need to put a stipulation in the contract that she can't come anywhere near a football game. I'm not interested in Kim Kardashian in Baltimore. I would like that on the record firmly. I am anti.
We might get some more primetime games.
Yeah, I'm anti. Kim Kardashian.
God damn it! And we all are in agreement. We fully expect to be on the opening night game in Kansas City, right?
I hope so.
I think I do. I mean, it's a 3-team race, really, because I figured they'll either put Bengals Chiefs because of Burrow, us and the Chiefs because of the AFC Championship game, or I could see the Chargers just because Jim Harbaugh's returning to the NFL.
I think it should be us.
Yeah,
but those are the three.
Yeah.
If it's that should be our Zone 32 trip. We should take a trip to Kansas City.
Why the fuck would I want to go to Kansas City?
I got family there. That's a good time to go out there. It's warm. So you're not going to get.
Who cares about warm or cold? You guys are such fucking pussies.
I do.
Well,
I don't want to go to a fucking cold ass game. Fuck that.
I want to go because I'm trying to add to my stadium. I got 5 stadiums this year I need to add to my list. Or my bucket list. So
if we go to Kansas City,
I'm not going to sit outside in the fucking cold. What
I ain't going to.
If we do go to Kansas City, Jake needs to wear a wolf costume.
Shit.
Just has to happen. So.
Yeah, it had the Raven shit on there,
Yeah.
Hey Jake, you'll go viral. It just put the Zone 32 like a Superman had a Zone 32 on that shit. You will go viral.
Also carry
the Ravens got a Chief of Harley fan.
You gotta carry a bag of fake cash too. Just rob the bank.
If I run into the Chief of Harley,
it would be funny. It would be funny if Jake wore like a Raven and with a bag of cash though. Like
that's fair too, but
no, he could just wear. He could be just like the Wolf, except like how the Wolf used to wear the Ravens attire. I mean, the Chiefs attire. He just gonna wear the Ravens attire.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just put like a Superman, like the Superman's symbol, and just put the Zone. Yeah, put Zone 32 on there.
Rebrand himself to Raven. You got to rebrand himself to Ravensaholic and just pretend that he has no idea what people are talking about when they say, "Are you making fun of Chiefsaholic?" Be like, "What?"
Bro, I can see that shit right now. Like, if we go to that game, like, say if it is opening day, so that opening night, so that'll be what, Thursday night, Friday morning. Jake gonna be on every sports platform. ESPN, Sports Center, NFL Network, all that shit. Bleacher Report, like that's.
I know somebody. Who
like, did you rob a bank? No. This is Will's money. He's buying a ticket to the game with this.
Now I'll just say I robbed the
So hold on. I just want to say that Will only wants to go to the Chiefs game because he thinks he'll be close to Taylor Swift. True or false?
That's true.
50-50. 50-50.
Only if it's warm though, right? Because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't going to no fucking Kansas City if it's cold.
Oh God, here we go.
I ain't going to any fucking game if it's cold. What the fuck? Cold.
What's cold?
I'm not going to any game if it's under 50 degrees.
Hey Drew, you was cold as shit at that.
No, I was drunk as shit. I was drunk as shit. I was fine. I'm smart.
Hey, Drew, remember that one white dude? Yo, I was like, bro, I know you cold. Yo, his cheeks was red and shit. Like, no, I'm not cold. Bro, you was cold as shit.
He was
Ain't had no hat on or nothing, man. He geeking.
Yeah.
Sounds like if you're trying to go somewhere warm, your road trip would be to SoFi
Tampa.
Stadium.
Tampa.
Never cold there.
I mean, whatever our road trip gonna be, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be warm, like either Tampa, Dallas.
Dr.
Houston.
Tom wants us to come to Dallas.
Okay, so Dallas is off the list. I'm not trying to hunt trans kids with Tom.
Let's go hang with Tom.
No, thank you.
Tom fucking around gonna have us. That shit probably gonna be like a fucking Pineapple Express. Not Pineapple Express, Hangover.
Yeah, I'm gonna
be like Hangover.
I'm gonna have to see his man. I'm gonna have to see his man bun in person. I'm not interested in that. No, thank you.
Probably gonna put roofies on our cups and shit.
Yeah.
Man.
I could see it. I'm not interested. No, thank you.
Bye. Well, I'm gonna visit.
Oh shit.
Well then, before we get any more wild, that's gonna do it for this week's installment. We'll be back to discuss this, that, and the other, and continue the path through the off season, maybe the scouting combine, whatever the fuck, the shorts, the t-shirt and shorts Olympics. But meanwhile, it's time for me to die. Oh!
That was horrible.
There you go.
So bad.
Yep.
Zone 32.